Chads, I usually come at you with some lighthearted content, but today is going to be a little bit different. We're coming at you with some
serious crap.
serious crapola right now, alright? You may think the Jiu-Jitsu world is all fun and games, it's all fine and dandy. You know, we can all just laugh, go around in a circle, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya, but, you know, sometimes there's times we have to be serious, Chads, okay? And we have to take our health seriously, and we can't just goof around and party hard and take illicit drugs and steroids to the max and not expect any consequences. Okay. And as a matter of fact, I believe these two athletes that we're talking about today are systematically freaking destroying their health, systematically lowering their life expectancy, and I'm worried about them, quite frankly. And I want to dive into what they're doing that's lowering their life expectancy and how us Chads can really prevent that lifestyle and prevent the mistakes they're making. But you know what? They're two high-level guys and they're at the top of the sport, so maybe we should copy what they're doing. I don't know. But let's dive into that, okay? Chads, the two athletes we're going to be looking at today are Mr. Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan, okay? Two of the most popular, most famous grapplers in the modern era of BJJ, really pushing boundaries of what it means to be a top-level athlete in the grappling world, okay? These two are extremely chadly on the mats, great jiu-jitsu, great athletes, okay? But we're going to examine what they do off the mats that could be hindering what they do on the mats. And Chads, I don't want you to partake in these unchadly behaviors, okay? But just because you make a mistake doesn't mean you're not a Chad, okay? It doesn't mean you're kicked out of the Chad realm, all right? You can make mistakes, but we got to learn from our mistakes. All right, so back to our two people of focus, Gordon Ryan and Craig Jones, all right? Gordon Ryan has a buttload of contractile tissue. When he is fully Chad mode, he is bulbous, succulent, and juicy. Craig Jones does not look so bulbous, succulent, and juicy, but he is strong, so that is Chadley, a little whammy or so. But unfortunately, both of these athletes partake in performance-enhancing drugs, specifically anabolic steroids, all right? It's up to every Chad to decide whether or not they want to take anabolic steroids, okay? And if you do decide, you gotta realize there's a lot of health risk, health consequences, okay? First of all, it beats up your liver, all right? It is just bad on the liver and good way to just get some nice liver disease when you're older. It thickens your blood up. If you take testosterone, your body quits producing testosterone, and you have to rely on exogenous drugs and exogenous hormones in order to get the correct number and live good. It also has horrible effects on your mental well-being. And just you get these crazy mood swings. You get freaking hair everywhere, acne everywhere, and there's a lot of consequences. You could become infertile and not produce Chad offspring in the future. And as a Chad, you don't want to do this. You want to produce other Chadly kids, all right? And so just keep in mind that there's a lot of negative effects. And boy, oh boy, do these boys take a lot of drugs. Mr. Craig Jones came out with his stack through Evertitan, and it's quite the stack. Got some test on there, some nandrolone, xandrolone, and then a little tadalafil, which I believe is like Cialis, aka the male enhancement drug. But you know what? He might be taking that for his hypertension, which we'll get in later in the video. Because yeah, he's got some bad hypertension. But anywho, a couple days ago, he announced he's parting ways with Evertitan, so maybe he's laying off the steroids and not doing this. But anywho, Gordon hasn't admitted directly to steroid uses, I don't believe. I could be wrong, but there is a video of him where he's like most of us are clean when he's talking about his camp.
Like, our team is pretty much like the only people who really, I think, don't use steroids to a certain degree.
And that's pretty darn evidence that he's on steroids. And also, if you believe he went from 170 to 240 all muscle naturally, then I have a magic potion I need to sell you. Link is in the description below. Sorry, my nose is clogged up. And yeah, I have that magic potion in the link down below. You should go buy that for sure. Both these Chads are also pretty similar to how they do not take care of their hygiene on the mats, okay? They are both notorious for getting crap loads of staph infections. They both trained at Henzo's Gracie's in New York, and apparently, according to Joe Rogan, that blue basement is notorious for staph infections. Young Jamie, pull that clip up.
What happened was you got staph infection. Henzo's in New York City was notorious for giving people staph.
They both got staph infections, but one suffered more greatly than the other, and that was Mr. Gordon Ryan. Mr. Gordon Ryan got staph so frequently he was on antibiotics for over a year, like you heard, and that freaking destroyed his stomach. All right. But I'm no genius. I'm no medical expert, but if you're on antibiotics for years straight, that is not good. All right. Even if you're switching up the type and dose, there's got to be foul play there. I don't know a doctor that would prescribe you a year straight of antibiotics. That's crazy. That's a telltale for antibiotic resistance, like you're asking for it there. And also leads me to believe that he was not doing his antibiotics properly. He's probably taking them until like he felt better or the staph was gone instead of finishing them to completion. And Chads, we got to finish to completion. All right, we can't halfway this. We can't halfway it and not completion, and not climax. Okay, we got to go all the way. All right, got to finish those antibiotics, finish the dose, and so that freaking staph doesn't come back. All right. And also, Chads, don't take don't get antibiotics from your teammates. All right. Only get them prescribed from a doctor. See a doctor. Get them from that. Don't be borrowing antibiotics. These guys probably, jujitsu is all they thought about. Live, breathe, eat, sleep jujitsu, and they probably are like,
oh, I'll save some money by getting some of my boys antibiotics, and that is
not what you need to do, Chads. Get your own dang antibiotics, or else you'll be on them like a year straight and ruin your gut like Mr. Gordon Ryan, and have a fungal growth in your small intestine that'll cause you to be nausea and just freaking want to vomit all the time. And
I was nauseous.
Force some time out of competition. Chads, we were getting robbed from one of the best BJJ practitioners of all time because he cannot his immune system shuts down.
I was nauseous
From taking antibiotics. If he gets sick and has to take antibiotics, it kills all of his good bacteria, and he's freaking out for a year. All right, and it's freaking it's frustrating because you want to see this Chad compete.
I was
he's
nauseous.
Freaking awesome, but we're robbed of it because he's just the freaking stupid use of antibiotics. All right, it just blows my mind, Chad. It blows my mind. Sorry, I'm gonna need a sip here. But anywho, let's continue. Can't believe we're freaking robbed of that. Let's go back to Craig. Craig did not suffer from antibiotic misuse, but he does like to live a little dangerously. He likes to go over to wartime countries, which I do not recommend, Chads. All right, that is a good way to lower your life expectancy. He is over in Ukraine doing seminars for the police, which I respect, but that's a war zone. I mean, you're looking for trouble and putting yourself in great danger. You know what I'm saying? And he's posted videos of him being in the cities where there's active bombings. There's even a video of him getting like shot at and goofing around, blowing up a car for the ADCC CJI thing. And yeah, he's just a wild, crazy guy. But I do not recommend going to wartime countries. All right, that is just not safe. All right. And also, we don't know if Gordon partakes in illicit drugs, but we sure know that Mr. Craig Jones partakes in the illicit drugs, the nose beers, the he's said he's taking Xanax pretty often, weed. I think he's sponsored by a weed company. And Chad's, just like Ronald Reagan, the awesome Chadley president, said, and he put a war on drugs. You gotta have a personal war on drugs and have not do drugs for yourself, okay? Crack is whack, as that saying goes, all right? And you gotta freaking stay away from the cocaine, the nose beers, the freaking marijuana, all that stuff, okay? Because that combined with steroids is a sure way to just blow your liver up and lower your life expectancy. And we don't want that for these guys, all right? Um, we don't want we want them to be around for a long time, competing for a long time, seeing them do great things, but their lifestyles off the mat is just, it's frustrating, Chad. It's super frustrating. Also, with Mr. Craig Jones, because he does this partying and lots of traveling and illicit drugs, and along with steroids, he has hypertension, and he has a crazy blood pressure in some of these videos, like stroke level blood pressure, guys. Like, hypertension is no joke. Like, this is a silent killer. Like, you ignore the warning signs, the constant headaches, the dizziness, and all that, and you think nothing's wrong, and then one day, boom, it hits you like a ton of freaking bricks. And maybe he's taking it seriously now because he's not partnered with Evertight, and maybe he's laying off the steroids. I highly doubt it though. But I think in a couple videos it was like 150 over 100. That's stroke level. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, like 150 over 80, guys. Chats, check your blood pressure. All right, it's important to keep that blood pressure in check. 120 over 80 is normal. Anything above that, you should maybe look at talking to your doctor, maybe getting a prescription for freaking a beta blocker like metoprolol or something. I don't know, but freaking get your blood pressure in check. Lay off. Maybe you got to lay off the salt. Maybe you got to do some more cardio. Just lower your stress, something, because we do not want to see blood pressure being that high. All right, that is off the freaking charts, crazy high. Okay. And we don't know if Gordon has this. He could with his steroid use and all that, but I don't know. Next, we're going to talk about the emotional stress and the emotional problems that these guys have gone through, okay? These guys are bickering a lot, all right? They're online bickering on social media with trolls and whatnot. You know what I say? I say, don't bicker or else you'll get sicker. That's right, Chads. Don't bicker, you'll just get sicker. So, let me give you a little rundown. These guys were one at one point, all right? DDS, Danaher Death Squad, one. Now they've split. B Team, New Wave, all right? B Team, New Wave. Amidst that split, we got Craig on one side, Gordon on the other side. But here's the kicker. Gordon's brother, Nicky Ryan, isn't on Gordon's side at New Wave. He's on Craig's side at B Team. What? That's crazy. Bickering with family, that'll cause a lot of emotional stress. And Chads, as we sure as heck know, the mental affects the physical, all right? And the emotional affects the physical. And if you don't have your relationships in check, if you don't have your freaking, friendships in check, it's going to cost you, it's going to weigh a toll on you, and it's going to weigh a toll on your health. And, it's not a good quality of life and not a way to up your life expectancy, okay? It has some drastic effects on you. All right. And I hope these guys figure it out. They settled, squashed the beef. Hopefully the split will become amicable at some point. But guys, if you're arguing, can't be doing that. And also, Mr. Craig Jones and Gordon like to get in these wars on the Instagram, not only with each other, but with others. I mean, Craig received a death threat. Like, that's crazy. If you're receiving death threats, that's not good for the life expectancy. But hopefully those aren't legitimate and Craig is staying safe. But yeah, I mean, guys, I could go on and on. Guys, I just hope these two gentlemen, stop before it's too late and reverse some of these effects, and they don't burn themselves into the ground. I hope we get more time with them, get more of their knowledge, get more of their competition, see them succeed, and just they're good for the sport. They've done a lot already. Let's see them do more. Okay, all right. And don't forget, Don't abuse your antibiotics. Check your blood pressure, and stay Chadsy, my friends. Adios.